Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for taking the time and joining us today for this exclusive webinar with the Third Faculty of Medicine, Charles University. Today's webinar will be going on for 1 hour. In the first half, we will have the presentation and then we'll proceed to the Q&A session. In the Q&A session, you'll be able to ask all your questions. So you can do that by clicking at the center button at the bottom of your screen that says Q&A. You'll be typing in your questions and then we'll be answering them. Today we have Professor Marks, Ms. Marie, and Ms. Teresa from the Third Faculty of Medicine at Charles University. So over to you now.
Hello, good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, maybe better. My name is David Marks. I'm the Vice Dean for Undergraduate Education and Student Affairs at the Third Faculty of Medicine, Charles University in Prague. I'm a pediatrician by training, and apart from clinical medicine, I specialize in public health research in the field of patient safety. My colleagues are here, Ms. Maria Gazemi, you can see her, and Ms. Teresa, who are my colleagues from the study division. I'd like to share, so I hope that now you see the screen, and I'd like to share with you some basic information about Third Faculty of Medicine. Charles University in Prague is an old institution, one of the oldest in Europe, which was founded in 1348. And at present, it has 5 medical schools. 3 of them are situated in Prague, and 2 of them are situated outside Prague. Prague is the capital of Czech Republic. It's a beautiful city from an architectural point of view. The picture that I'm showing you now shows Prague Castle with a huge Gothic cathedral. Prague is not only full of architectural gems, but also of universities, not only Charles, but also others, and a lot of opportunities to sightsee or to mingle with students from other faculties and to spend time together. This is a picture on the left side. You can see the oldest building of Charles University, the original college where students were living together with their professors. And this is a building of the Third Faculty of Medicine, pretty new building of the faculty. We are now in the process of building another one. Apart from that, we are affiliated to 3 large university hospitals situated in Prague. We teach, as Czech Republic is a European Union member state, all medical faculties have to teach the standardized content of general medical studies. So in 6 years, our graduates will get the title medical doctor and automatically can start working in any EU member state. And our diploma is recognized in other countries, altogether in 195 countries in the world, which practically means everywhere. Sometimes I have to answer questions, what's the difference between individual medical faculties? Well, it's not about the content of teaching, because that, as I said, has to be standardized, but about the way we teach. Medicine as science has developed over time, and there's a much more information to be taught than, let's say, 20 years ago. So the process that we selected for our teaching is problem-based integrated learning, where we are integrating different subjects together and very soon implementing clinical teaching. I'll get to it shortly, so I'll tell you the details. We have around 300 medical students per year. Around 100 of them are students studying in English. 200 are studying in Czech. Apart from teaching, our faculty is very strongly oriented on research. About 40% of our students do participate in research over the course of their studies, which can not only show them the value of scientific methodology, but also give them positive points for job applications worldwide where research experience is highly valued. A lot of activities, student activities at our faculty are coordinated and managed directly by the student body, not only social events such as balls and parties, but a lot of student science is coordinated by students, as well as participation of students in different charitable activities. More than 45% of our students spent at least one semester of their studies abroad in some other EU university. This is the basic tuition fee, 420,000 crowns, which is around 17,000 euro. I'll get closer to tuition also. So what is the difference in teaching? Also, on this slide, you can see a very old picture, one of the oldest, of a physician. The physician is the person on the right, fighting with plague or fighting with death. And on this picture, the physician himself is not very strong. He doesn't have a lot of tools to fight. But medicine has done a big jump since then. Today, we are able to diagnose and treat diseases that would be considered magic 100 or even 30 years ago. Patients who are diagnosed with acute myocardial infarction, that 30 years ago there was a mortality around 15%. Now it's around 3 or 5%. Apart from physicians, there are other healthcare professionals such as nurses, physical therapists, nutritional therapists. So the amount of information flowing into the world about medicine is increasing every day, and that has led first the American universities and subsequently the European ones to increase the effectivity of studies in connecting different subjects together so that it all fits into the 6-year curriculum. This is our inspiration, the universities in Maastricht, Cambridge, and Munich, and these are the basic principles. Integration means that, for instance, in the first year of studies, there's a large module called Cellular Basis of Medicine, where students study all year everything about the cell, about the structure, about anatomy of the cell, about the function of individual organelles, but also they study molecular genetics, molecular biology, immunology, and a lot of biochemistry. There's one subject and it's tested in the same time. And it's also connected to clinical studies because a majority of our graduates work as clinical doctors. So, for instance, if there is a seminar about the glucose metabolism, there will be a patient with type 1 diabetes coming first and describing his or her symptoms to the students. And following that, we start with theory. It makes more sense if you know what is the clinical importance of the information you are getting. Our students start their interaction with patients at a very early stage. In the first year, now in November, as the time of their first visits in the hospital, where they are trained in communication, in basic skills, hospital skills such as hand disinfection, clerkships with patients and others. Another principle of our studies is medical ethics. As medicine is becoming more and more powerful, it is important to guide physicians so that they don't start behaving in a godlike way. So for the 6 years, medical ethics is taught always in connection with the content of the subject taught. For instance, if they study anatomy in the second year, they'll be studying ethics of behavior to a dead body. If they study women and child health, there will be discussions about abortions and so on. And another pillar of our studies is population health, public health, and medical law, including European and international medical law. So this is just an overview. I have already described the main subject in the first year. That's about the cell. In the second year, it's a subject which is called structure and function of human body, and it is a mix of anatomy, physiology, histology, and biochemistry, and again, in an integrated way. So the week that students are taught about anatomy of the heart, at the same time, in physiology, they are taught about how the heart works, and in biochemistry, about how blood gases, about the metabolism of blood gases. Then we have a subject, Introduction to Clinical Medicine, which is getting yourself around hospitals. So that starts in the first year and continues into the third, where it finishes as medical propedeutics, as really the launch of assessing patients and taking structure history. Biophysics, Czech. So often we are asked if the expectation is that students master Czech. Czech is a pretty complicated language, so we just expect basic understanding from students, and that's why we offer this course. During the summer, in the first and second year, students spend 2 weeks in an institution of their choice for clinical placement. In the first year, in a long-term care facility, or with a family that takes care of a handicapped member or handicapped child, so that students get to understand what does it mean to be seriously and chronically ill. In the second year, the clinical placements are focused on emergency rooms in hospitals. So this is one of our microscope room. Then we follow in 2 years 3 and 4. In the first 2 years, students have understood how does the human body function if everything is okay. In the third and fourth years, we are teaching them how does it look if it's not okay. So they are studying pathology and pathophysiology. Again, they are studying it in an integrated way, microbiology together with infectious diseases. Also, we are starting with oncology, following teaching of pathology. More and more, the expectations of their clinical training is not only about talking to patient and communication, but also assessing patients and being able to start identifying their diagnoses. You can see a mix of our students. At present, we have students from more than 80 countries studying with us. From some countries, the numbers are higher, for some it's lower, but from the first day, we are trying to integrate not only teaching, but also students from the Czech curriculum and from the English curriculum. Many of the activities, social activities, or educational activities are organized together. In the last 2 years, they are more or less standardized. They are traditional years where clinical subjects such as ENT, ophthalmology, dermatology, and others are taught. And then, as from the fourth year, students step by step are starting with their final exams. So this is the list of the final exams. We call them state exams as well. And it's the standard European range: internal medicine, child medicine, pediatrics, surgery, OBGYN, neurosciences, and public health. This is a graduation ceremony in the Charles University Grand Hall. It's a student taking the oath to be a medical doctor. I already covered our system of teaching ethics. Part of it, for instance, is a visit to one of the concentration camps in Europe, where we are presenting medical crimes of the Holocaust so that students understand how important is it not only to study technical issues of medicine, but also to focus on issues connected to the social role of the physician, because no diploma will make you a good person. The moral qualities are elsewhere. The faculty offers a wide range of elective courses. For instance, if student wants to specialize more or learn more about one of the subjects, they can shadow clinical doctors or work in laboratories or even participate in some teaching activities as student teachers. And also we have a large university sports center where students can gain credits by participating in different sport courses. I spoke about the clinical placements. It's not only the first and second year, it's also the fourth and fifth year. The clinical placements can either be arranged in country, in Czech hospitals, or you can spend them in your own country or in a third countries under some of the international programs such as Erasmus. Entrance exams. Entrance exams will be held both on-site and online. There's a written test. From this year, we made a change. It will be only a test from chemistry and biology, because the differences in teaching physics and mathematics, which were also added to it previously, is so wide, and there are so big differences between the range and scope of teaching internationally that the discrimination value is very, very low. So it's only 60 questions, 30 from chemistry, 30 from biology. Multiple choice test. Following that, there is an oral interview. You have to interpret unknown article from a popular scientific journal, and then there is a discussion about your motivation. In some cases, we recognize SAT scorings or IB scorings instead of entrance exams. All the details can be found on our website or will be given to you by Dr. Quadri. I already spoke about tuition fee. The living costs in Prague, depending whether you live in a dormitory or in a private flat, is around 15 to 20,000 crowns monthly. So it can be even less if you are staying in a dormitory. So it's like 450 to 800 US dollars, depending on how much do you want or how much do you expect. We understand that it's not really easy to start studying in a different country. It's tough to study medicine, even if you are studying in your own country and talking your own language. Now it's a different language area. You study in English, although your maternal tongue is different. So we have implemented over years a pretty robust system of student support, specifically in the first year. There is a tutoring system in the first year. Every study group has 2 tutors, 1 student and 1 faculty member. We have our own designated unit of general practitioners for English-speaking students. And as the only university, we have a non-stop SOS phone line where students can call any time of the day. Mostly it's used for seeking healthcare or to deal with some acute visa or administrative issues. We also have our own student mental health center. So this is me down there. And this is one of the groups that I've tutored next to the statue of Charles IV, the founder of the university. And there is behind us is the symbol of medical faculty, which is part of this statue. Just some examples of our students' activities. There is one student union that integrates students studying in Czech and in English, so they work together. In September, all new students come with us for 3 days outside Prague for some basic retreat. Then there is a Freshers Week where students show you different sides of Prague, study-wise or social-wise. There's a lot of sports activities, for instance, a Quidditch match, for the dean celebrates this. There are some social ones. There's a lot of student teaching. Students go to secondary schools, to high schools, and teach about first aid or about some preventative measures and STDs and so on. Students have 3 choirs, many music groups. So it's not like only studying, because we understand the necessity to do something over and above to fulfill what we call social role of the physician. These are others. We are especially proud of the unit that provides healthcare for homeless people. Those are students from medical schools that visit homeless in the streets and help them with some basic support for their medical issues, because these people usually don't want to go to hospitals at all. Project Itibo is our project in Kenya, where a few students every year go there and work there for 4 weeks in a village hospital. So this is the initial retreat, a group of our English-speaking students finding their way to their student group. That's the color of the t-shirt is the symbol of their study group. This is the welcome ceremony where students are symbolically admitted into a medical school. This is a student ball. This is a Quidditch match. Yeah, some issues. And this is from the Africa. This is a picture from the African hospital. This is students teaching school children some chemistry. We call it Kids University. And this is from the initial camp in Dobronice, where students come together with Czechs, and this is where the first friendships and the first acquaintances start. So why to come to study our medical school? Well, first of all, because of integration. The integration is not there only for the sake of putting everything in place, but this like mimics the way a physician thinks about patients. When you see a patient, you don't first see him from an anatomy point of view and then see him from a biochemistry point of view, but you have to integrate all the information together. So this is how we teach, so that the practice of integrating knowledge is already there. Our the intensity of teaching respects physiologic differences. So the first year, the burden of studies increases step by step over the first year. So students are not thrown into the water straight from the beginning, and they have time to adapt. So in the second year, where it is anatomy, which is a lot of memorizing, they are already prepared. There's many countries and many countries from which students come to our faculty, but also many countries where you can spend part of your studies. The early clinical practice and student research is something that I think is very unique and valuable. And it's not only clinical practice as a part of the regular teaching, but also a wide range of shadowing possibilities. I spoke about student support, but the main importance is that you will never be alone with us. There will also always be support from your study group, from your tutor, from your student tutor, that will make you feel safe and able to focus on your study stuff. This is my presentation. I hope it made sense. And if there are, now I'll be happy to answer your questions. But if there is anything more you want to know, please go to our website. You can contact us there or through these phone numbers, or even better, by contacting the study division by the website and gaining information either from my colleagues or from me. So thank you very much. I'll stop sharing now. Now I don't know how will we
Yeah.
deal with the questions. Shall I open the chat or?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Professor Marks, for the detailed presentation. So now we'll move on to the Q&A session. Students, as mentioned before, you can type in the questions, and I can already see some questions pouring in. So let's begin.
So
First question is by Tim. Yeah. What are the main differences between Charles' first faculty and the third faculty?
the first faculty is much larger, so it has more students, so it's not so easy to provide individualized student support. Also, the curriculum at the first faculty of medicine is the traditional one. Without the integration, they studied a classical curriculum starting with anatomy and physiology. As I said, all medical schools in Europe have to teach the same content, but they can distribute it as they wish. So our priority was to make it more physiologic and more closer to the way of physicians thinking.
All right. We have a couple questions by Adam. How can the students get scholarship? Number one. Number two, if there's any specific certificates required for the acceptance process, and is IELTS required for admission?
Scholarships are only based on study results. So as from the second year, there are some scholarships to those who have the best study average. However, the scholarships are not very high. It's more motivational. So that's for scholarships. We do not require anything else for the except for the entrance exams than your high school diploma.
All right. And the third question, okay. Uh, Another question by Tim. Are A levels taken into account in addition to IB and SATs?
Yes, they are. They are. So that was the other. If you aspire for that, you have to send us your expected results or your real results, and we'll let you know if this could be considered as valid for admission.
All right. We have a couple questions about the American diploma. Ahmed is asking that he's saying that he's studying American diploma with the SAT exam. What are the requirements for the medicine program?
Usually it's percentage about 90, but you'll find all the details, including the different systems, IB, SAT, and so on the website in the part about applications.
All right. Ahmed is asking what SAT score is required for admission without an entrance exam. So is there a possibility
Uh,
to skip the entrance exam?
yeah, we can skip it. It's all there. It's AAB. Yeah.
Okay. Tim is also asking to which extent is technology and technological simulation implemented in Charles's curriculum?
Clinical simulation, I mean, like simulation centers are in each of the Charles University medical schools. Some of them are now starting with some artificial intelligence tools in teaching, but that is still in the beginning. Simulation centers focus on general simulation, intensive medicine, mother and child, and some manual orthopedics and so on.
All right. Another question by Tim. Does graduating from Charles grant eligibility for further studies in the UK?
By all means.
Mhm. All right. Radia is asking how many hospitals are affiliated with Charles the Third faculty?
It is four hospitals in Prague and then many hospitals outside Prague, but this affiliation for the hospitals outside Prague is more important for the higher clinical years because there they spend their clinical clerkships.
All right. Ahmad is asking when can the students apply for 2025-2026?
Already for the whole year. You can ask Dr. Quadri, he has got all the dates.
Well, let me tell you, we already started taking application for the last couple of months. So please, if you want to apply, apply as soon as possible and contact our office urgently. Thank you.
All right. Iman is asking after completing post-graduation, are students eligible to secure a one-year internship Furthermore, can international students directly enroll in residency programs in the Czech or other European countries? If residency programs are not available for international students, what alternative pathways can they pursue?
Residencies are available to international students or to international graduates, not only in the Czech Republic, but in any EU member state. The only condition is knowledge of the language, because those are clinical residencies. So you have to prove that you can appropriately speak Czech, German, or whatever. That is the only condition. No further tests, I mean, medical tests are required. The diploma is valid for medical practice in any country in the world, and in Europe even easier.
All right. Arsha is asking, what is the Czech language proficiency that is required?
No, not for admission, none.
All right. Maria wants to know what are the IB curriculum requirements?
Again, please look at the website for details. It's again, it's percentage. I think again, it's 90 or 95, and there's a range of subjects.
All right. For the requirements specific to the curriculum and all, you can drop an inquiry to us as well. I'll be dropping in the contact details in the chat, so you can take a note, students, and then just let us know. We'll assist you further. Question by Faris: when and where does the entrance exam take place, and are there specific requirements for dentistry?
So the dates are on the website, and again through the agency. Our faculty does not teach dentistry.
Well, we have got 2 days for the entrance examination. One is in Jan and one is in April. So the first examination will be on January, 18, in Dubai, and second one, will be on April 19. No? So you can choose one of the dates, and please note that you cannot retake the exam. It can only happen once in a year. So if you fail, you cannot retake the exam. Thank you.
All right. Question by Arshia: what are the entrance test minimum marks required for the admission?
First, you have to get at least 50% of the written test, at least 50%. And following that, in the interview, again, 50% of the total number of points.
Okay. Amelia wants to know what are the fees for the university's entrance exam?
Here, I'd like to ask Miss Maria to answer this question. I don't remember what's the cost for the exams.
So it is around $37. It's 910 Czech crowns, so it's about $37. It's the application.
Okay, let me clarify this. This entrance examination fees are for those who want to take the examination in Czech Republic. But if you are taking the examination in Dubai, it costs you 1,650 dirham, no, which is approximately $400, approximately 400 something, no. So if you want to take the examination in Dubai, this is the fees. If you want to take in Czech, this is the fees for this 37 euro, no. Yeah.
All right. And just to add on to that, I've mentioned the contact details of us in the chat box as well. So if you'd like to register for the entrance exam or would like to apply, then you can always contact us. Moving on to the next question is again about how much percentage is required for seat. So I think all the requirement questions we can skip because it's going to be differing and we have to cover the questions. Okay, Sayed Bashir is asking, thanks for the answers. Okay, Sayed, is there any age limit on how can the finishing? Okay, I think he's trying to ask, is there any age limit for the student to apply?
No, there is not.
Okay, other question by the American diploma requirements, we've answered that. Question by Adam, if a student gets A or A star in AL, is there a necessity for entrance exam or can it be waived?
Again, what is that's the American diploma, or what do you mean AL?
No, A level, British curriculum.
Oh, A level. Yeah, but you have if you have A or A plus in biology, chemistry, or physics, you can get admitted, and you will apply separately.
Okay. Question by Adiba, are cadavers used for hands-on experience for the students?
Yes.
Okay. Sayed, you've done a PhD in engineering. Do I need entrance? Sayed, you can send your documents. We'll check. Arshia, IELTS academic minimum requirements. We discussed that is not required. Okay. Question by Adiba. Yeah. Is the in sixth year, the clinical internships are full time?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Aradhya is asking how available are cadavers for the study and how many students in group per cadaver?
Cadavers are available during teaching of anatomy. It's hard to say how many students per cadaver because the dissections are divided. Extremities is one part and the rest of the body is the second part, but usually it's around 10 to 12 students per cadaver.
All right. Iman is asking, after completing the program, are students eligible to secure a one-year internship?
They are, but they have to know the language. Yeah, and Czech is a tough language, so many students choose to go to a different country in Europe, but they are eligible.
All right. I can see a question by Maria and Taleb about doing the entrance exams outside of UAE.
Well, you can contact us and we will tell you how to take the exam if you are not in UAE. Don't worry about this.
Okay. Sarah is asking, how much does the dormitory cost and how can the students apply for that?
Applications are arranged for students after admission by our study division, and the cost depends on the quality of accommodation. If you want a room for yourself, a single room costs around $350 to $450 per month. If it's a shared room, it's less.
Okay. Ahmad is asking, what is the source of study for the entrance exam?
It should be any high school textbook of chemistry, biology, and you can see examples of the questions on the website. There are examples of the tests from last years.
Yeah. And you can contact us as well. We'll be sending over you the details about the entrance exam. Ramisha is asking, how much does getting a good score in CBSE
It doesn't.
contribute to getting a scholarship? Yeah, so we discussed that already. Adiba, can the exam be done online?
Again, you can contact us and we'll let you know about this. No, it's on case to case
Okay.
basis. It's not because in UAE the examination has to be physical. If you are in other country, we can arrange something for you. No worry.
All right. Iman wants to know, does the university provide any support on preparation sources for the USMLE?
Well, not individually because it's been tested, but the range of knowledge of students is so diverse that they prefer to study by themselves, not with consultations. But the structure of our studies in the first 4 years is so much reflecting the system of teaching in the US that the tests for USMLE you are prepared for them based on studying our faculty. So we provide consultations during the preparatory period, but there are no courses.
All right. I've answered a question by Aradhya. How different is the service for the CBSE and to the entrance exam? Again, Aradhya, you can contact us. We can send you the details so you can check for yourself. Adiba is asking, after completing the program at the university, do the students have to give an exam for practicing in the country or in the EU?
Only a language exam.
Okay. Ramisha is asking, what is the student passing ratio in the first, second, and third year?
In the first year, it's around 80%. In the second and third year, it's 93 to 94%. However, it is possible to repeat the first year. So although it has the lowest pass rate, that means that not all those who are not in the pass rate will leave the faculty. They are allowed to repeat the first year.
All right. Aradhya is asking, is the interview more focused on judging whether a student is ethically fit for the medicine course, or is it more of an oral examination of the syllabus?
It's not knowledge, it's about ability to interpret text and then to think about some ethical dilemmas that are presented to you, although you'll be asked about your activities in high school, specifically extracurricular activities that can be tied to taking care of a person or doing things in a systematic way.
All right. Ahmed is asking if he passes the entrance exam and the interview, when can he receive the acceptance to start the visa?
Very quickly. It's a very short process. So a few days, actually, 5, 4, 7 days.
All right. Maria wants to know, is the exam only multiple choice?
That is the test. But then there is the oral interview.
Okay. For the time being, we've answered over 50 questions. We've tried to avoid all the repetitive ones. So, of course, I'm going to be dropping in the contact details once again in the chat box. This is for you to get more details about your questions. And let's give our students a minute or two so they can type in some questions. Okay, we have a question by Aradhya. Apart from the interview, do extracurriculars play a role?
Well, extracurriculars are not graded, but naturally practice that is focused, for instance, in high school research, in natural sciences, or some practice in health and social care institutions, or some volunteering in hospitals or child agencies is something that shows higher motivation. So we look at it.
Okay. Two questions related to the family visa. She is asking, can parents get multiple entry visa?
No, not
Okay.
based on the fact that their child is studying with us. The university has no ability to influence the visa process.
Let me answer this question that the student will be getting a long-term visa, while the parents will be applying for a Schengen visa. This is totally different. So you have to complete all the formalities of the Schengen visa. It has nothing to do with the student visa or your son. Yes, you can mention maybe in some time that your son or your daughter is studying, but again, it has nothing to do with the long-term visa.
Okay. Adding up to that, Iman's question as well, does the university provide support in issuing a guardian visa allowing parents to travel?
No. Oh, in
Okay.
emergency, can you
Yeah.
go back to this question? I didn't read it
Sure.
full.
Iman says, I'm just gonna try to put it back. Okay.
There's
Does
something
the
about
university provide support in issuing a guardian visa allowing parents to travel to the Czech Republic in case of an emergency?
the university does not arrange this, but we can give you a supporting letter. And if the reason is humanitarian, the embassies are usually very quick in dealing with it.
All right. A question by Ryan, will publishing research papers give us plus points?
Not plus points, but it increases the like the level of your motivation. So it will for sure help you to get admitted.
Okay. Once again, we've run out of the open questions. So students, if you have anything to ask, this is a very nice opportunity. Type in your questions and we're able to answer them. Or maybe the presentation was very in detail.
Well, one other question I saw that do you offer dentistry in English? No, no, we don't offer dentistry. We just offer only medicine.
Okay. Question by Aradhya. In case of two students obtaining the same scores on the entrance exam, what is the order of priority to distinguish between two candidates?
Both will be admitted.
All right. Anything else, students? Please go ahead. If not, we've already shared the contact details in the chat, so feel free to send us an email. Okay. Adiba is asking, is there any recommendations or points to keep in mind for the entrance exam and the interview?
Well, as I said before, you have to focus on memorizing as much as possible data and factual information from the presented text that you have to interpret. And then what we are looking for is information about your motivation, about systemically focusing on anything. If you play guitar for 6 years or you play basketball for 8 years, that shows that you are a focused person. And then the volunteering and caring activities.
All right. Ramisha is asking, is the third faculty degree acceptable in India for government hospitals?
Yes, it is.
Alia, you've asked a repetitive question. We've answered this already. Will you prepare
answered
students
this
for the
already.
assembly? Okay. Aradhya is asking, are personal statements, letter of recommendations, or CV anything required?
No, nothing.
Okay. Another repetitive question by Heba. What is the interview about?
Well, I already spoke about it. It's interpretation of a text and then discussion about motivation.
Right. Adam is asking, is there any restrictions on any nationality such as Palestinian?
No.
Okay. Ahmed is saying that if he takes the entrance exam in January and pass, he will take the acceptance, or should he wait at the end for the end of the year? I think he's trying to ask the deadline to accept the letter of acceptance.
No. I mean, let me answer this one. Once you pass the entrance examination, you will be getting the acceptance letter, and then you can apply for the visa. That's
No.
That's what you mean. You don't have to wait till the end of the year, no. I mean, you don't have to wait till the end of your high school result, no. You can apply, but yes,
yeah.
you need to submit everything. Yeah.
Okay. Adam is asking, is the third faculty accredited in the UAE?
Yes, it is. It's worldwide accredited. It's in the list of the World Medical Faculties organization.
All right. Tulev is asking, is it possible to apply with final A-level results instead of predicted grades?
Depends from which year. Depends from which year. In which year have you finished? You have to finish during this academic year.
Follow up to that as well by Rohit. Rohit wants to know if the predicted scores play a factor in admission.
No.
Okay. So I can see a lot of questions about acceptance in specific countries. So we've already answered that we're not going to be including each and every country, right? So I'm going to be skipping the next question. Okay, question by Adam. If he is in intake 2026 and wants to try the entrance exam in 2025 and pass, does he need to do it again in 2026?
Well, I can answer this question that entrance examination is valid for that year only. That is not valid for next year, no. You have to retake the exam now. Because
it's for the running year.
Yeah.
All right. Aradhya is asking, do students under the age of 18 need a letter from guardian or anything of
No,
sort?
you don't.
Ariva is asking, what plays a major role in selection of a student?
No, it's not a major. It's a combination of knowledge, a combination of presenting the case or the topic in the article during the oral, and then assessment of motivation. All have the same level.
Mm-hmm.
Same level.
Question by Sarah. If you finished A level in 2024, can we apply with those results?
Oh, 2024, that's this year.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. Sorry. I'm too much ahead. Yes, you can.
All right. We've got a couple more questions. Aradhya is asking, what is the student placement percentage after graduating from the 6th year?
If you're asking about what they can get a job, 100% of our students are in medicine. Worldwide, there's a lack of physicians.
All right. Iman has a follow-up to the previous question. Most of the students from UAE belong to the GCC, India, and Pakistan. Hence, it's important to know if the third faculty is accepted in Pakistan.
Yes, it is, and it's not because the formally the degree is issued by Charles University, so it's the university that is recognized and all its faculties. So yes, it is recognized.
All right. I can see around 75 questions answered. Ramisha is asking, what is the requirement for post-graduation?
For what?
We've already discussed this actually, Ramisha. After the graduation, what are the requirements will be? Sarah is
Right.
asking, can the students continue for specialty in Charles University?
Yes, they can if they learn the language.
Okay. Aradhya is asking, what is the level of English proficiency required? How is it assessed?
It's assessed by the interview and naturally also by ability to answer the test questions, and it's B2.
Okay. We've answered over 35 questions now, so if anything else is there, students, please go ahead. Otherwise, we should be ending the session if there's no more questions. I've already included the contact details for where you can contact us for more information. Okay,
So
Rohit, a couple more questions. Let's take the last few more questions because it's getting a bit repetitive now. Rohit is asking what recommendation letters from teachers increase the chance of acceptance.
no, not at all.
No. Okay. Sarah wants to know how proficient in Czech language do you need to be to continue?
To continue where? Oh, you mean to continue postgraduate? Well, you have to be about B2 C1. There is a national test organized by the Ministry of Health for graduates that don't speak Czech, that haven't passed the high school diploma in Czech. So, and it's around B2 C1. However, you are studying there for 6 years. So if you are using just the ability to communicate with other students, it's pretty easy to learn it.
Okay. So Dave is asking if they have A, B, and A level, can they get admission?
No, AAB.
All right. Aradhya is asking, as Czech is a language taught in the university, is this taught as a mandated course?
Yes.
And will the study be in Czech by Sarah? Sarah is asking.
No, it will not.
Question by Ahmad. If he passes the entrance exam in January and he will take acceptance, or should he wait until the entrance exam in April?
I think this question has been here already and it was answered.
3 times we have answered this question. Last
Okay,
question.
one question by Aradhya. Yeah, let's go
Yeah.
ahead with the last question then. What are the possibilities of international clinical placement during the studies via the Erasmus program? What countries are included through the Charles third faculty?
Around 40 to 45% of our students go for international clinical placement, so more or less all of them who want to. And our Erasmus program covers virtually all European countries, all the stronger universities. So the Erasmus program covers all EU member states.
All right. Since there are no more open questions, then I think this is where we can end the session. Let's take the last one by Aparna. Biophysics was a subject mentioned as taught in the university. Is this a mandated course?
Yes.
All right. So I think this is where we can end the session. Thank you everyone for joining the webinar. Thank you very much, Professor Marks, Ms. Marie, and Ms. Teresa. And I think this is where we can end it.
Thank you. Goodbye. Good luck.
Thank you, Professor Marks. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Teresa. Have a nice day. Thank you.